Hey everyone, welcome to the Work Time Fun Podcast. My name's El, and let's get started. Recapping on the last episode, we did a little overview on the movies The Batman, the animated film Turning Red, and lastly, The Atom Project. Now those were all just non-spoilery overviews. But if we wanted to go in detail in the future, make sure to explain that in the titles or in the description of the podcast. But now, as a special request, my son asked that I review his little bow bun toy that he bought. And my honest opinion, it does look real. It does feel almost real. I mean, aside from it being really squishy. But man, I just can't get over the smell. It's too much plastic. It's a little bit rough. Probably needs to be washed or just aired out for a really long time before I can even consider it being realistic enough. But yeah, anyways. So, haven't watched any recent movies, but I will say that I am watching multiple shows, which I'll probably go and cover. And what I mean by recent movies, I mean other than watching Turning Red and The Atom Project. But yeah, as far as shows going, let's focus on what's on HBO Max, as that has a mix of movies and shows, and maybe a lot of people are watching on there. Who knows? I'll put that down in the title and description. But yeah, some things I've been really into was first season of Raised by Wolves. I know the second season's out. I just haven't gotten around to watching it yet, but I'm really anxious to see what's going on. Although I have to admit, the very end of season 1 of Raised by Wolves was really weird. And so it was kind of distracting in a way for me, taken away from what I thought I was expecting out of this show. And if you don't know what this show is about, it's from Ridley Scott. It's a kind of sci-fi, futuristic, I guess, how can you say, apocalyptic, futuristic world. Without looking at any summary or anything, from what I recall, from what I watched, you've got 2 androids, a female and a male android, that are taking care of a whole bunch of kids on this barren planet. And it just seems like these are the last remaining humans in this world or in this universe. And so these androids are there to help raise them and pretty much regrow the human population. But as the show progresses, you find out that these aren't the only humans left in the world, and that there's actually another bigger group of them that, let's just say, they have a different faction or different religious beliefs. And so again, as the story progresses, you also know that there was this huge war on Earth, and that's what caused all these people to pretty much have this mass exodus. So all the humans left Earth. They were searching for a new planet to call home. And so you find out that the androids took some kids and did their own thing on their own way. And this whole other cruise ship, I guess, space cruise ship, had a whole bunch of other humans, and they went off and did their own thing. And by the time you get to the middle end of the season, then they all kind of meet each other and things kind of go bad, so to say. But yeah, if you like sci-fi and like weird apocalyptic futuristic stuff, then I'd recommend Raised by Wolves. It's pretty cool. Okay. And more along the lines of superhero genre, what about all the DC films, animated, live action, whatnot on HBO Max? Like, all the DC animated films, I'd say, are pretty good. I've watched a lot of them already, and it's not really that bad of a pick there. I mean, yeah, there are some that just don't work, but majority of them work. If there's anything we can trust DC on, it's their animated films, especially all the main Justice League characters. Can't go wrong with that. Their movies, on your hand, save the Batman. All the rest were not up to par. Anyways, DC shows on HBO Max. We've got, I've watched Doom Patrol. Doom Patrol's pretty good. I've watched Stargirl. Actually, I thought that was cool. Like a family show. Could have your kids watch that. If you've watched the newest Suicide Squad, the one directed by James Gunn, then you would definitely want to watch Peacemaker. He's one of the characters in that new Suicide Squad movie, and he's played by John Cena. And you'd be kind of pressed to think, why would they make a show about him? No one's asking for that. But you know what? That thing is pure comedy entertainment, let me just say. So if you like watching Suicide Squad by James Gunn, then you definitely like watching Peacemaker. It's just a continuation. And if you already did, then we're excited to know that they've already been approved for another season, so can't wait for that either. There is the Batwoman show. I honestly have not really watched it. Actually, maybe I take that back. A couple episodes of the first season when they had Ruby Rose, I believe, as Batwoman. Then whatever happened and she was written off, and they've got another Batwoman on there. I haven't seen it since, so I have no opinion of it. I have no interest, really. Maybe if I have some free time, I'll catch some episodes. So I can't really recommend it myself. But if you dig it, cool. And as far as something that's a little bit more serious, the Titans, DC's Titans. Not to be confused with the cartoon version, the Teen Titans, or even Titans animated. There's the live action DC Titans, which follows the other, I guess you could say, side characters to the Justice League. It's mostly Dick Grayson, who you know as Robin usually to Batman. And there are other characters there, but if you're not really familiar with the Titans, they won't really ring a bell to you. I'll just name a few. I think next you run into Raven, young girl with like a sort of demonic background to her. You'll see as it goes. And then you have Starfire. She's flaming hot. You can that's my play on words. You also get introduced to Beast Boy as a name. He becomes a beast. And then some other characters, but that's just first season, which mostly revolves around those characters. And as the next season goes on, then you're introduced to more, and in season 3, even some more characters. So I really like this one. I usually try to keep up to date on it currently, or whenever it's current. And so I'm waiting to see whatever comes up for season 4. Going back to something that's a little bit more lighthearted, I almost forgot to mention the new Superman show, which is Superman and Lois. So there's a couple seasons in now. I've kind of been trying to keep up to date. It's a different story. It's Superman and Lois and their 2 teenage sons. And it's that family dynamic of how they are living life as a family, and their sons finding out that their dad is Superman. So of course that, raises a lot of questions, and some other things happen that makes it even more interesting. So I think it's more geared towards a family friendly show, and kind of if I had to be honest, it reminds me of those WB type like teen drama. At least that's where it kind of leans toward, with the 2 teenage boys, the sons. It kind of focuses around them, and also Superman and Lois a bit, and their family dynamic. So if that's something you like, hey, maybe that's something you can give a little watch too. And I think that's a good quick little take there on some DC shows on HBO Max that I like and my opinions on them, and some that I don't like. Plus, of course, that Raised by Wolves one. I mean, there's a lot of sci-fi shows I can keep going on, but I'm trying to keep this more focused about what I said the channel would be about, which is like the superhero genre. And of course, the things that I go do, that I do watch else, what else, like sci-fi, comedies, different things like that. Or just different random things, like reviewing my son's little fake toy Chinese bun thing. All right. Well, thank you everyone for listening and joining in again. And I hope you enjoyed this podcast. Tune in again. I'll catch you next time. Till then, have a fantastic day.